You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
Korea's stock market just hit a structural inflection point, driven by a counterintuitive combination, a rising Chinese technology threat, and a tightened U.S. export dragnet. It's Tuesday, June 2nd. Let's get into one of Korea's top economic stories today. We are unpacking the hashtag KOSPI record highs, the geopolitical memory chip war, and a quiet but massive digital currency race inside Korea's banking sector.
Yeah, the sheer volume of capital moving right now is, well, it's honestly staggering. The hashtag KOSPI, which is Korea's benchmark index, kind of comparable to the S&P 500, just closed at an all-time high of 8,788.
Wow.
Right. And we're looking at a total market cap crossing 7,000 trillion won.
Which is roughly 5.15 trillion U.S. dollars.
Exactly. And Samsung Electronics is really doing the heavy lifting there. I mean, they surged 10%, becoming the first Korean firm to cross a standalone market cap of 2,040.4 trillion won.
Okay, so that's about 1.46 trillion U.S. dollars.
Yes, or 2,224.1 trillion won if you include preferred shares. So roughly 1.59 trillion U.S. dollars.
That is just massive. And that influx was so relentless, it actually triggered a sidecar for the 11th time this year.
It did, yeah.
For those of you listening, you can think of the sidecar as an automatic pressure valve blowing off steam. It essentially halts program-driven buying when futures deviate more than 5%.
Right, purely to keep the market from just shaking itself apart from all those relentless cash inflows. But, I mean, the catalyst behind this massive influx is what's truly fascinating.
You're talking about China's CXMT.
Exactly. CXMT has aggressively narrowed the technology gap in HBM, or high bandwidth memory, which is, absolutely crucial for AI computing. They've narrowed that gap down to just 3 years.
Just 3 years?
Yeah, and they're now actively targeting 14% of global supply.
Okay, wait. I have to push back on the market logic here a little bit. If a Chinese competitor is rapidly catching up and threatened to flood the market, why do Korean incumbent stocks soar? That feels completely backward.
It does sound backward at first, until you look at the timeline. It proves Korean HBM faces a finite, actively narrowing threat window.
Oh, I see.
And data centers realize this. They are panic buying to lock in Samsung and SK Hynix supply right now, well before those Chinese alternatives actually become viable.
Got it. So they're securing the legacy memory today.
Precisely. This urgency dramatically elevates the strategic premium on Korean memory.
Okay, but how does Washington's latest move factor into all this? Because the U.S. just closed an 18-month loophole on May 31st, right?
Restricting advanced AI chip exports to overseas Chinese subsidiaries.
So how does that play into the Korean market advantage?
Well, this is where the mechanics of the geopolitical chip war get critical. The U.S. is strictly regulating logic chips, the actual processors doing the AI computing, to choke off China's AI infrastructure development.
But Korean memory makers produce the chips that store the data.
Exactly, and those memory chips aren't restricted by the U.S. in the same way.
So because the U.S. is bottlenecking the processing power but leaving the memory alone, data centers are forced to hoard whatever premium Korean memory they can get.
Right, to pair with their limited processors. It builds a massive structural advantage for Korea.
It's like a toll booth on the only open road to AI infrastructure.
That's a great way to put it. And, this massive influx of capital into Korea's tech infrastructure isn't just happening in hardware. It's actively spilling over into the financial sector, too.
Right, which brings us to Uido, Seoul's financial district.
Yes. When you have this much global capital flowing in, the banks realize they need to rewrite how that money actually moves. Shinhan Financial just convened major banks to counter Hana Financial's 6.55% stake in Dunamu.
And Dunamu is the operator of the giant Upbit crypto exchange.
Exactly. Samsung Securities also jumped in, buying a 4% Dunamu stake for 612.8 billion won.
Which translates to about 437 million U.S. dollars.
Right. And they are fighting over what are called won stablecoins.
Meaning digital currency directly pegged to the Korean won.
Yes. Banks are racing to secure these digital infrastructure stakes right now before local regulations pass, ensuring they control Korea's next payment cycle.
It's essentially a financial land grab. If you secure the platform partnership today, you hold a structural distribution advantage tomorrow.
Which brings up a really important question for you to consider as you watch this space. Will today's rally actually sustain?
Right, that's the big unknown.
The geopolitical tectonics are still shifting. The true test really hinges on Samsung's upcoming HBM4E announcement at Computex and NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang's visit to Seoul. Keep your eyes firmly on those supply commitments.
That's today's AI Prism, Front Page Daily. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a One Eye for award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.